So this is Robin from Tech.eu. I'm here with Nicolas Brusson, who's the co-founder of BlaBlaCar. Can you explain a little bit about the company?
Yeah, sure. So BlaBlaCar is it's a long-distance or intercity ride-sharing network. So essentially what we do is we connect drivers with people looking for a ride, and typically we do that between cities. So if you take an example in the UK, it would be a driver driving from London to Manchester would go on the website, offer his or her empty seat on the website, and passengers go on the website, search for trips, very much like they would search for a train ticket or a plane ticket, and they book the seats.
Right.
So essentially we end up building a new transport network based on empty seats in cars.
And how many users have you attracted so far?
So today, we passed 6 million users last month all over Europe. So in France, in the UK, Italy, Spain, Poland, Germany, and we recently expanded into Russia. And we've seen accelerated growth essentially in all these countries.
Nice.
And today, I guess we talk about number of users. What we really track is actually how many people we transport or how many people we carry every month, and we passed over 1 million people actually using the service every month.
Nice. Do drivers actually make money out of sharing rides?
So it's interesting. I mean, people don't really make money. Essentially, they offset the cost, right? So we've set up the whole concept of BlaBlaCar around the notion of cost sharing. So essentially, if you think of the cost of driving today, it's higher and higher, right? So if you take the example of, again, London to Manchester, driving between those two cities would cost on average £90, so over €100 actually to drive between London and Manchester. So what we do is we allow drivers to offset that cost by offering their seats to passengers. So what's interesting is the driver doesn't make a profit. So in a sense, from a tax sense, from an insurance point of view, there is no issue. From a regulation point of view, there is no issue. I mean, you're just offsetting a cost. But yet, in a way, you're doing that trip anyway. So,
right.
So in a way, yes, you make money, you offset a cost. So.
Right. So I'm guessing you make money by taking a cut of the transactions?
So that's right. So what we do is essentially the passenger is going to pay online, and we have a markup to the price. So we have like a small commission we add on top of that price, and we do that essentially to facilitate the transaction. So what we end up doing is we do a complete yield management for the driver. So as a driver, you just offer your seat on BlaBlaCar, and then we're going to send you passengers. You can accept or refuse those passengers, and if you accept, we're going to fill up your car.
Right.
And we also do that to some extent to create more trust in that network. So over time, we not only check your mobile number or your Facebook Connect, we end up collecting banking information from the driver, credit card information from the passenger, and we know exactly who traveled with who and when, and we have quite a bit of information about those members.
Makes sense. You're mostly based in Europe or operational in Europe. You just expanded to Russia and Ukraine, I think, via acquisition. Do you see yourself making the jump overseas to the US at some point?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we started with France a few years ago, and we took the approach to expand all over Europe pretty early on, right? So in a way, we started to expand in Spain, in Italy, even in the UK, before even making any revenue in France, which is kind of unusual because you tend to first prove your business model, and then when it's proven, you go abroad. We took sort of a faster approach. Initially, we wanted to really scale all over Europe, so we've done most of the countries by now. We've done the first move in a way outside of Europe with Russia a week ago, so it was, as you said, through an acquisition. We're pretty excited about Russia. I mean, it looks like a very interesting country for what we do. But I think more generally, we tend to realize that what we do is it's a pretty basic transport need, essentially. We're just creating this new transport network that's low cost, last minute, social, sustainable, because we're just leveraging empty seats in cars,
right,
which would be true in many countries. So talking about the US, I mean, the US is a bit of a different market in the sense that the economics of what we do are probably less compelling in the US than they are in Europe or even in Russia. So we're not in a hurry to do the US, but I would say long term, yeah, we'd like to do this thing everywhere we can, right?
Right.
So for me, it's more like a matter of time and execution.
Right. So you've been around a few years. You've raised, I think, about 12 million total so far. The last round was in 2011, so that's been a while. Do you see yourself raising more capital in the near future to grow faster?
So today, we're lucky enough that the model is, in essence, is quite profitable. Now, so in France it works pretty well, and we've been able to grow with essentially what we raised so far. Having said that, it's always an equation you need to find between growth and becoming profitable. And today, as we see that the model works in more and more countries, it grows more and more in all these countries. Yes, of course, there will be a case to grow faster, and then it depends. I mean, depending on your pace of growth, yes, you might need to raise more capital. It might make sense to raise more capital. So there is no immediate plan for us to do that, but it's almost something you reconsider every 6 months or so.
What's your biggest problem, right? What keeps you up at night?
It's a good question. To me, our biggest challenge, I would say, is like awareness of the activity, right? So whenever we launch a new country, whenever we try to go to find the next users, people didn't do that like a few years ago. So when we launched France, it was new, right? Explaining to people that hey, you can actually share your car and you sort of sell your seats in a car between cities was a completely new concept. So every time we go to a new country, we have to educate the market. We have to do lots of educational marketing, lots of communication. And today, if we could crack, if we could accelerate that even faster, I think we could grow even faster. So for us, it's about like market creation, which is an interesting game, right? Because it's like, how do you educate people? How do you change behavior? And in a way, we change behavior, right?
All right, Nicolas, thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck.
Thank you.